Good morning, folks. This is Deb. I'm going to try not to have my blood pressure go up this morning, but just a couple of little points, okay? I got to head out to work, and I want to make two things really quite clear here. Now, we've had a lot of chatter over the last several months since the loss of the election about how the Democrats have to have better messaging. So you're talking to someone here, or you're listening to someone here who is a veteran of 35 years in the advertising business. Okay. I worked for a major technology company for 25 of those years, and I had my own agency uh, for several years after I left that company. What's going on in government is not an advertising campaign, okay? It isn't about selling, okay? This is government. And I agree on certain key points that the Democrats need to work on. Outreach to rural areas is one thing that they need to work on, okay? Talking to the youth, the young voters, that's another thing they need to work on. Talking to seniors is another thing they need to work on. So all parties have things they need to get better about. And there is no doubt about that. But there's 2 points in all of this. Number one, no party in America is perfect, and it's never going to be perfect because people are involved and human beings have faults. Okay. The only religious leader I ever heard in my life that got it right was the Dalai Lama when he said, perfection is not a human option. But I think we can all agree that what we are looking at here with the Republican Party is a complete slide into fascism. I never, under Joe Biden, woke up in the morning worrying about whether I was going to get my Social Security check or my child was going to get her disability check. I never woke up in the morning worrying about where I was going to be at 71 years old. Was I going to be on the streets? Or was I going to be here where I'm comfortable? Not wealthy, not wealthy, but certainly my life improved immensely under Joe Biden versus Donald Trump 1.0. Okay. Now we are all in the uncertainty zone because Donald Trump is leading a coup to steal from us, we the people, in order for people like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all of the rest of the wealthiest people in America to take control of this nation. These are men, primarily, who do not believe that democracy can exist. They can't be happy in a democracy because they can never have enough. I am relatively certain that this would never have happened under Kamala Harris. None of this. We would not be here today watching the chaos and the bold, blatant bullshit from Donald Trump. He's like horseshit. You can't walk anywhere without stepping in him. It's obnoxious, okay? And it's all because he's trying to screw over the American people on behalf of the elites. We're talking about saving money. Yes, we can make government more efficient. That's why they have oversight committees. You go through the legislature. You want to change shit. You want to change the Department of Education. You want to eliminate the Department of Education. That was created by the Congress. Therefore, the only people who should be able to dissolve that is the Congress. Okay? I'm certain that the Democrats understand the importance of the Constitution and the rule of law. And one more point before I go. Nothing that has ever been achieved in this nation, not the civil rights movement, not the right for Black people to vote, not the right for women to vote, not any of the advances that the LGBTQ plus community have made, were ever given to us by any political party. So stop that notion. This is on the backs of the American people. It is we who need to be the driving force for the Democratic Party. And I'm also talking to Republican voters, because I do not believe the vast majority of people who vote Republican are MAGA Republican. I believe that is a much smaller number than Donald Trump wants you to believe. Okay? So I'm talking about people who have historically voted Republican. I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot do that right now. That is not possible right now. You vote Republican right now, you are keeping the current regime in power. We have 3 seats. You've got a choice. You either want to end this madness, because I am absolutely serious when I tell you that there are plenty of Republican people living on Social Security, plenty of Republican people who need Medicaid, plenty of Republican people who have signed on to Obamacare. Okay? I really simply do not believe that the only people reaping the benefits of what we have gotten as earned benefits are Democrats. I know better. I've seen the Republican states. I've traveled in them. I've been there. I know what rural America looks like. You need to band together now and hold your noses if that's what you think you have to do, and vote for a Democrat if you want to save this nation. If you want to carry on with this nonsense that you can't do it, you have to keep an R next to your name, then we are going to slide into a fascist state. We are going to look like Russia in very short order. What you have here running the United States of America is a man who is a cross between Vladimir Putin and Adolf Hitler. There is absolutely no question about it. You have seen it in real time. You are looking at this in real time. We are 6 weeks into this man's regime, and it is utter chaos. And we are being destroyed by a man who is not even in the government, operating in an illegitimate group called Doge outside of the government. And he is completely clueless about what the fuck he's doing. The people who think that Elon Musk is a genius are crazy. He's just rich and greedy, and that's a fact. And anything that goes to help the American people, in his mind, is waste. Because, hell, the billionaires deserve everything. And that's the way these people are thinking. So please, folks, heed my warning and wake up. We can worry about the Democratic Party's messaging later on. They actually have a new DNC group that's working on that. Right now, the message is clear. You either want democracy where we can all exist without any kind of threat to our future, or you want fascism. The choice is simple. It was simple in November. It is now even more apparent how simple it is. I'll talk to you all later.